Now we're going to make our festive holiday cranberry pistachio bar. This one's really fun because it has one of my favorites, dark chocolate. So when we're getting our dark chocolate, we want to make sure we get 72% cacao. That means that there's 72% of the cocoa solids, which is the stuff that has the healthy stuff for us. So it has the flavonoids. So that's the antioxidants, which help to fight free radicals and helps with our vascular health, so the blood flows well. But again, we would have to eat a lot of chocolate to get all those health benefits. So continue to eat your treats because you enjoy them, not because you're trying to get a health benefit out of it. That excuse doesn't work here. But it's still a good thing to have. Better to get the dark chocolate than the milk chocolate, also because it's lower in sugar. So you've got those extra flavonoids and you have the less sugar. So definitely try to get the 72% or greater. So we're going to break up our chocolate into the bowl. I've already broken up one bar. We need 2 of these, so a total of 7 ounces. And so we're just going to break this open. We want to break it into smaller pieces because we're going to have to melt the chocolate. So we're going to be using the microwave method today. We're just going to very slowly microwave the chocolate until it melts very, very slowly. And then we're going to spread it onto a sheet pan and we're going to top it with our cranberries and our pistachios. You can use anything else that you want, that you like. If you don't like pistachios but you like cashews, put cashews on there. It's going to add a little bit of extra crunch, a little bit of extra fiber, some extra protein action in there. And since we're spreading it so thin, you get to have a bigger portion. So I like that part too. So we've got all of our chocolate broken up. And for the first run, we're going to put our microwave at 30% of the heat, and then we're going to microwave for about 30 seconds. And we'll continue to check back and see how it's doing. We want to continue repeating that process until the chocolate is almost all the way melted, but not all the way. So we can see that the chocolate's starting to melt a little bit. I'll give it a good stir, and we'll go back in for round 2. Want every last bit. After round 2, the bowl's getting warm, so if you feel like you need to use some oven mitts, feel free to do so, but you can see the chocolate starting to melt. We're getting there. Now we're going in for round 3. And we're back from round 3, and our chocolate is almost melted. I'm going to just wait about 30 seconds and see if the residual heat on the chocolate can help melt it all the way through. Looks like it might. But everyone's microwave power is a little bit different. My microwave at home is not as powerful as this one, so it took me more attempts. So it's important to keep an eye on it. If you're more comfortable doing shorter little bursts, that's okay too. This is looking pretty melted, so I'm just going to let this finish with the residual heat, and I'm going to get my sheet pan ready. So remember I told you about the pre-cut sheets. And so this one was actually pre-cut, which is nice because it makes it easy when we put our parchment paper down. We've got our parchment paper down and we're ready to continue. Our chocolate is looking very melted and the bowl is very warm, so be careful. I'm not seeing any more chocolate chunks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this out onto our pan. We want to make sure to get every last bit of that goodness. Okay. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but get ready for this. We get to paint, and we're painting. We're just wanting to fill up this sheet tray as much as possible, and then we're going to eventually put our toppings on and allow it to cool for about 30 minutes or so, or until it's hard, and then we can break it into little pieces. So I'm going to continue painting, and then we'll come back and we can jazz it up with our toppings. So we had fun spreading our chocolate out nice and thin into an pretty even layer. And now we get to do the fun part. We get to sprinkle on all of our toppings. So I like to start with the pistachios. So I bought these already shelled, and then I measured out a 1/3 cup, and then I crunched them up a little bit more. I just put them in a zip top bag and used my rolling pin to crunch them up a little bit, because I'd rather have lots of little bits throughout rather than having big chunks of pistachios, but you do you. Do whatever you like. You can have the big pieces or small pieces, whatever makes you happy. We're just going to sprinkle these on. The other nice thing is if you have someone in your family who doesn't like pistachios but they like cashews, you could do half and half, kind of like making a pizza. So we'll sprinkle all of our pistachios on. Looking very pretty. This would also make a really nice holiday gift for a neighbor. There we go, we've got all of our pistachios on, and now we're going to sprinkle our cranberries. I got the dried cranberries, and in the nutritional information I calculated based on the sweetened cranberries. So if you're able to find unsweetened, then that'll bring down the sugar content even more. We'll sprinkle those in. This looks really pretty. We have some red and some green. Beautiful. And now we're going to let that set for just a minute, and then we're going to sprinkle on a little bit of salt, and that's going to add a little bit of a sparkle to our dish. And it's also going to help to bring out some of the sweetness of the chocolate since we're using that dark chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this on. It's like snow. And there we go. I'm going to pop this into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes so that it can harden up and set, and then we'll come back and we'll break it up into our 20 pieces. Okay, so I just pulled this out of the freezer. I put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and I can tell that it's done because the chocolate is starting to peel. Ooh, and some broke off even. It's peeling away from our parchment paper, which is what we want. Now we're going to be cutting this into about 20 pieces. All of our recipes today are 20 pieces, which is kind of silly. So what we're going to do is we're first going to cut down the middle. And it's not going to cut perfectly in half, but that's okay. The little pieces that are special are what makes it unique. So kind of just putting your knife in is going to start to break it into different pieces. Look at that. So I'm just cutting 4 lengthwise. And now I'm just going to kind of portion out about what it would look like if we were to have 5 going up and down. There. We're getting breakage. So we want about 5 pieces per row. And if it's not spot on, that's okay. You'll just adjust your nutritionals accordingly. But this makes a great little treat to have after dinner. Or you can put them in a tin and mail them to some family. There we go. Look at that. We have all of our beautiful pieces. Then you can display them. Break them apart. Use them as an ice cream topper. Look at that. Beautiful. And our cranberry pistachio bark is completed. Enjoy.